Imagine holding a tiny, forgotten coin that looks ordinary, but secretly carries the power to rewrite your destiny. A single 1-cent piece minted decades ago could be worth millions today, hiding unimaginable wealth in plain sight. These coins are not just metal. They are time capsules of history, rarity, and chance. One discovery, one perfect moment, and your life could change overnight, forever. Every once in a great while, a humble piece of metal minted for everyday commerce slips through time, only to emerge decades later as a treasure that can make the heart pound and the imagination soar. Among the countless 1-cent coins struck by the United States Mint, the Lincoln Cent series, especially coins from around 1950, has captured the attention of collectors, dreamers, and fortune hunters alike. Though most 1950 pennies quietly live their lives in cash drawers and sidewalk cracks, a rare few have ascended into the realm of legend. At first glance, a 1951-cent coin looks modest, a diminutive copper disc bearing Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and wheat stalks, or later the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were everyday money, meant to buy a candy bar or pay for a newspaper. But beauty always hides beneath the surface for those who know where to look. In the world of numismatics, it's not just age that creates value, but rarity, condition, and the stories etched into tiny metal surfaces. Imagine a coin so impeccably preserved that every hair on Lincoln's head seems freshly struck, every blade of wheat sharply defined, as though the coin had never passed through a pocket or cash register. These are the coins graded mint state, or even near perfect. For a 1950 penny to survive in such condition, untouched, untarnished, unfaded, is remarkable. Most are weathered, but the rarest specimens appear as though they were minted yesterday. Yet the truly extraordinary are those with errors, striking mistakes made during the minting process. Picture a penny with a doubled image, where Lincoln's face appears to echo faintly beside itself, a phenomenon known as a double die. These anomalies make the coin leap off the table in a collector's gaze. They whisper, "I am rare, I am unique." And in the world of collectors, rarity is the gateway to true wealth. A 1950 penny with a dramatic and clear error might be worth tens of thousands of dollars or more. Let that sink in. A coin that once bought a stick of gum can today be worth the equivalent of a luxury car or a small home down payment. But there are whispers in numismatic circles of specimens, so rare they could command 7 figures, the kind of coin that turns the ordinary collector into an overnight legend. Behind every valuable coin is a story, a journey from mint to mystery. Perhaps one such 1950 penny was minted, dropped into circulation, and lost in the folds of an old coat passed down through generations. Or maybe it was tucked inside a jar of other coins, forgotten in an attic, only to be rediscovered decades later by an unsuspecting heir. These are the stories that ignite auctions, that make seasoned collectors nervously adjust their seats as bidding climbs higher and higher. The history of the Lincoln penny itself is a tale of evolution. First issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. By 1950, this beloved cent had become a familiar companion in American life, a witness to post-war growth and change. Its design resonated with everyday citizens, and by mid-century, it was so common that few could imagine one becoming an object of immense desire. Yet when coins are inspected under magnification, hidden worlds appear. Tiny die cracks, off-center strikes, double letters, and variations in metal composition tell a secret language. To casual eyes, a 1950 penny is simple currency. To an expert, it's a canvas of history, and occasionally a ticket to unimaginable wealth. The rarest of these coins have stories written not just in copper, but in scarcity and time. Consider also the emotional weight, owning a piece that others dream about. For some collectors, a penny that could fetch millions isn't just an investment. It's a testament to patience, passion, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine holding a piece that has survived wars, technological revolutions, and cultural transformations, and now sits in your palm with the power to change your life forever. Of course, most 1950 pennies will never be worth millions. Most are common, copper discs worn smooth. But that's what makes the rare one so enticing. The possibility, however slim, that something truly extraordinary might lie unnoticed in a jar or old box. Stories abound of coins found in unlikely places. Wallets, cigar boxes, coin rolls forgotten by banks, only to be unveiled by a curious eye and expert appraisal. And if you do happen upon one of these legendary pieces, the guidance is clear. Do not spend it at face value. Do not underprice it in haste. These coins are not mere metal. They are portals of history and potential wealth. With the right condition and story, they can be auctioned for staggering sums. Every collector knows that a coin with provenance, verified background and grading, can elevate value beyond imagination. So remember, a 1951-cent coin might appear ordinary, but in the right condition, especially with dramatic minting error and pristine preservation, it can be a cosmic alignment of rarity and desire. It can transform a dusty heirloom into a fortune. It can turn an ordinary person into someone whose name is whispered in numismatic lore. In that tiny copper disc lies not just history, but possibility, shimmering, waiting, and unparalleled. From the moment the United States Mint struck its 1-cent pieces in 1952, these small copper coins became quiet witnesses to everyday American life, changing hands in store counters, piggy banks, and pockets across the nation. Most pass through time unnoticed, but legends persist of a rare few that have escaped the ordinary and entered the realm of extraordinary. Whispered among collectors is a notion that a single 1952 penny, perfect, untouched, and bearing a mind-bending anomaly, could be worth far more than its tiny face value, enough to reshape a life overnight. Close your eyes and imagine holding one of those flawless coins, its surface shining like fresh autumn frost, every feature crisp and clear, untouched by time or wear. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's profile gazes outward with quiet dignity. On the reverse, delicate wheat ears, if it's the wheat scent, curve upward, detailed and sharp. Such preserved beauty is breathtaking because so few coins survive the everyday grind of circulation without at least a hint of wear. Collectors live for this moment. The thrill when eyes meet metal, when a coin seems to leap off the table and whisper, "I am different, I am rare." Because in the world of numismatics, rarity is not just a number, it's a kind of magic. A flawless 1952 1-cent piece graded at the highest mint state could command attention at auction rooms where seasoned bidders compete with trembling excitement, driving prices far beyond imagination. But rarity grows even more powerful when it melds with error. Some coins bear the mark of chance, a double die that makes letters echo, a slight off-center strike that tilts the image, an unexpected planchet imperfection that defies standard minting. These anomalies are unpredictable, born from the mysterious moments when machines and metal diverge from perfection. A 1952 penny with such a dramatic error, bold, clear, unmistakable, is not merely old. It is singular. And imagine this. A 1952 coin so rare and so pristine that experts whisper about its potential worth in the millions, a whisper that grows louder in the hallowed halls of coin conventions and auction houses. To the untrained eye, it's just a penny. But to those who have walked this path, it is a fragment of history with a heartbeat, a copper relic with the power to transform destiny. Every valuable coin carries with it more than metal and ink numbers. It carries a story. Perhaps a rare 1952 cent was struck, slipped into circulation, and then lost in the softness of an old coat pocket. Maybe it rested forgotten in the bottom of a jar passed down through generations, only to be discovered one day beneath layers of dust and memory. Stories like these electrify the collector's imagination and send shivers down the spine of anyone who dares to dream of discovery. The Lincoln penny itself is a symbol of American resilience and continuity. First introduced in 1909 to honor one of the nation's greatest presidents, it became a constant companion in the daily life of citizens. By 1952, millions of these coins have been minted, and most simply carried on their humble duty. Yet from that immense sea of copper, a few exceptional survivors have emerged, catching the gaze of those who seek history in handheld form. A coin's value is shaped not only by rarity, but by condition. In the numismatic world, coins are graded by experts who inspect every detail. The brightness of the luster, the sharpness of the strike, the absence of blemishes. A 1952 1-cent coin that earns a top grade, untouched, unmarred, gleaming, is like discovering a time capsule. It's a piece of 1952 frozen, in immaculate form, immune to the wear of decades. But the stories that captivate collectors most are those of surprise discoveries. A child finding a rare penny under couch cushions, a jar of change at a flea market that hides a secret treasure, a banker who stares in disbelief upon noticing something unusual in a roll. In those moments, ordinary life collides with breathtaking possibility, and the world shifts to the finder in a heartbeat. If you ever find yourself holding a 1952 penny that seems unusually perfect, or bearing a striking anomaly, pause before you spend it. This is not just copper. This could be history in your hand. Experts advise that such a coin be authenticated and professionally graded before anyone even considers placing a value on it. A misstep here could mean losing millions, not just dollars. Legacy lost, opportunity gone. Some people believe that true treasure doesn't reveal itself easily. It hides in plain sight, under layers of routine and normalcy. That is the magic of the numismatic world. The possibility that something so familiar, so overlooked, could carry within it the power to change someone's life forever. A rare, pristine 1952 cent could be one of those miracles, a quiet testament to hope that a simple coin might hold the key to unimaginable fortune. So remember this. While most 1952 pennies remain humble pieces of everyday history, a select few, perfect in condition, unique in anomaly, may well belong to a rarefied league of treasures. In the hands of the right expert, in the spotlight of an auction, they could command sums that make headlines and fuel dreams. And for the person fortunate enough to hold one, never forget that sometimes the smallest object can hold the greatest wonder. From a moment a 1956 United States 1-cent coin left the U.S. Mint, it was destined to be ordinary, a small copper piece meant to help Americans buy everyday goods. But history has a way of surprising even the most common objects. What begins as humble pocket change can, in rare and astonishing circumstances, transform into a treasure that sets hearts racing and minds spinning with possibility. At first glance, a 1956 penny looks familiar. Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, a smooth rim, the date clearly stamped. For most of its life, this coin would have bought a piece of candy or paid for a newspaper, living quietly in circulation. But for the collector who knows where to look and what to hope for, a coin can be more than currency. It can be a key to a story far greater than its size suggests. The true magic of a coin lies in its condition. Most pennies from 1956 have seen decades where smooth edges, faint details, the shine faded. But imagine a coin so perfectly preserved that its surface gleams like new, as if frozen in time the very day it was minted. Every line on Lincoln's face is crisp. Every letter stands bold against a copper field. This level of perfection is rare, extraordinarily so in numismatic circles. Coins are graded with intense precision. The highest grades are reserved for pieces that show no signs of wear, that seem untouched by time. A 1956 penny in this top condition doesn't just stand out. It shines with a brilliance that stops conversations. In a sea of ordinary coins, it becomes a singular object of desire. But condition alone can elevate a coin. Even more powerful are minting errors, the unexpected, unrepeatable quirks that occur when metal meets machine and perfection slips. A misaligned strike that shifts the date, a doubled image that makes the letters echo, a planchet flaw that gives a strange texture. These anomalies aren't mistakes of collectors, they're signatures of rarity. Now imagine a 1956 penny that combines both. Immaculate condition plus a bold, clear error unlike any other known. In that moment, a common coin becomes something else entirely. It becomes a legend. It becomes a piece that, in whispered speculation among seasoned collectors, could command a price that eclipses common sense. There are stories, some whispered, some documented, about coins from other years fetching astronomical sums at auction, not because they were pretty, but because they were one of a kind. And while the idea of a 1956 penny selling for millions, let alone transforming someone into a billionaire overnight, sounds like fantasy, it speaks to the power of rarity and imagination collectors. Every coin carries history in its metal. A penny from 1956 was minted in a post-war America at a time of optimism and growth. It slid through everyday life, passed from hand to hand, sometimes forgotten in a drawer or jar. Most never made it into collections. Most lived ordinary lives. But sometimes, against all odds, one survives in astonishing condition. Picture this. A jar of coins passed down through generations, forgotten in a trunk in an attic. One day, someone curious sifts through the change and notices something different. A penny with startling detail, a brightness that doesn't belong to decades of circulation. The finder feels a thrill, a moment of recognition that something rare might be perched in their palm. Coins like this don't just hold monetary value. They hold wonder. They make us pause and imagine how many times they change hands, what places they've seen, what history they've brushed against. They become tangible connections to the past, and sometimes, astonishingly, to the future. If you ever find yourself holding a 1956 penny that seems too perfect, too extraordinary, don't treat it as ordinary money. This isn't just copper. It could be a portal into a world where history and rarity collide. In the right circles, in the right moment, such a coin could be auctioned for sums that make headlines and spark awe. So remember this. Most 1,956 1-cent coins are humble relics of everyday life. But among them, hidden, waiting, unimaginable, might be one that defies expectation. A coin that gleams with rarity. A coin that holds stories and sets hearts racing. A coin with the power to change a destiny.